Okay, so today we're going to deep dive into some pretty unnerving stuff, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
We're looking at this script somebody sent us called The Algorithm That Made People Disappear.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, you hear that title and you think kind of like Black Mirror-y kind of,
Yeah, totally.
like dystopian sci-fi.
It is.
But then when you look at what they're talking about in this script, it really does hit kind of close to home.
Absolutely.
And it makes you wonder, like, how far off could this be?
Yeah, I think that's what's so fascinating about this script is how it takes something that we all kind of experience on a small scale, like shadowbanning and, not getting as many likes or...
Right. Yeah, or like your messages don't seem to be getting through, or
Yes,
you don't show up in searches.
like you're slowly fading from
Right.
existence online, and then it just takes it to this extreme.
Well, and it lays it out in stages. It's not like,
Yes.
one day you're there and the next day you're gone.
Right.
It starts with, little things like glitches.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you go to the grocery store and they have like, their loyalty program.
Yeah.
And the app's not recognizing your phone number.
Right.
Or you can't log into your bank account suddenly. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
wait a minute.
You get that panic.
Yeah, and you're like, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? And it's little stuff like that at first, and then it starts to get a little bit bigger. And
Yeah, and that's where it gets really creepy because then you start to think about, okay, well, we're relying on facial recognition for more and more these days. And what happens when you walk through an airport and the scanners don't recognize you?
or the security cameras just don't see you.
Yeah, or what happens if you're driving and a traffic camera doesn't pick up your license plate?
Oh gosh, yeah.
It really starts to kind of unravel this whole like sense of
I
place
think
and
it does.
identity in the world.
And the script doesn't stop there.
No.
I mean, it goes even further than that, and it starts to look at what happens after the erasure.
Right, because it's not just like you're not online anymore. It's like
Yeah.
how much of our lives now is tied to digital records. And so if you're not in those systems, if you're not in those databases, it's like you never existed.
Yeah, like that scene in Men in Black.
Right.
Where they like flash the thing and everybody forgets that the, alien was ever there.
Yeah, like you cease to exist
It's like that,
in the records.
but on a bureaucratic level,
Right.
which, I mean, honestly, is maybe scarier in a way.
Well, think about it. Like you said, no birth certificate, no medical records,
Yeah.
no online history. It's like
Your ghost.
it's like it would create so many problems.
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get a job.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to get medical care. I mean, it's just...
Rent an apartment.
Yeah, all these things.
Yeah.
It's like all of the basic functions of modern life are suddenly...
Inaccessible.
And the script goes even further than that and starts to explore, like, how this could actually spill over
Oh, yeah.
into your personal relationships.
Absolutely.
Like, if all of your friends suddenly...
Can't tag you.
Yeah, they can't tag you in a photo, your messages aren't getting through.
You're not showing up in searches.
Do they just eventually assume,
You fell off the face of the earth.
like, yeah, that guy ghosted us?
or worse yet, did something happen to him?
Yeah.
Right? Did he get into an accident and
Yeah.
he's in a coma?
You're making me want to, like, print out hard copies of all my photos right now.
It's really scary because it makes you realize how fragile our connections are in this digital age.
So let's get into the technology of this a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned facial recognition. Obviously, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But the script also mentions, like, these new AI customer service systems.
Oh, yeah.
That a lot of companies are using. And, I mean, that's terrifying to think about.
Absolutely, because
This
think about it. You call your phone company or your bank.
Right.
Or, your insurance.
You're already on hold for like an hour.
You finally get through to someone or something, and it's like, I'm sorry, I can't find your account.
Right.
And you're like, but I've been a customer for 10 years. It's like, sorry, you don't exist.
Oh, it gives me chills.
It's really scary.
So, I mean, in this world, it's not just about losing your online presence.
Right.
It's about losing access to, like, services, basic...
Yeah, the things you need.
Your identity, your memories.
Yeah, it's like...
That you're just a non-person.
Your existence is completely dependent on these systems.
And here's the thing. The script also, it goes there.
Oh, yeah.
It says, what if the AI that's making these decisions is
wrong, who to erase?
Yeah, what if it's just wrong?
Well, and even more than that, what if it's biased?
Right.
What if the data that it's using to make these decisions is flawed?
And there's nobody to appeal to.
Right.
Because...
You can't argue with an algorithm.
Right, so exactly. You're just gone.
You're just gone.
And nobody can prove that you ever existed.
Yeah.
So this deep dive is really
oh, yeah.
how we think it.
It's a lot to process.
I mean,
it really
it's
is.
this chilling reminder that we're handing over so much power
to these systems.
to these algorithms. Yeah.
And we don't even fully understand how they work.
Right.
And so, it's like we're trusting these systems
With our lives.
with our identities.
Mhm.
And what happens if that trust is misplaced?
Right.
And that's the question we have to ask ourselves right now.
Yeah, I think this is a call to action for all of us to be more aware
Of what data we're sharing.
Yeah, like how are these things working?
What are we feeding these algorithms?
Yeah, demand transparency from the people who are creating them.
Right.
Really think about, what are the ethical considerations here?
Absolutely.
Because this is the world we're living in.
Yeah.
And if you're not in this system, you basically don't exist.
Yeah. And that's the scary part.
And the scariest thought of all
Yeah.
is what happens if the system decides it doesn't want you in it anymore?
And that's something to think about.
Yeah.
It really is.
So thanks for coming on the show today.
It was my pleasure.
Really appreciate, your insights on this.
Of course.
I think this is something that we all need to be talking about.
Absolutely.
And yeah, for everybody listening out there, I mean, this is real.
It's not science fiction anymore.
This is stuff that we need to be paying attention to.
Absolutely.
And thinking about and talking about.
We have to be aware.
So thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you next time
See you later.
for another deep dive.
Deep dive.
Okay.